Hello, hello, oh, hello. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Ready? Put away your phones. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to school. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. We're very happy to see you. Some of you came dressed as teachers today. Today is the first day of Spirit Week. You might have forgotten, but today is Dress Like a Teacher Day. There are some people that are really hit the nail on the head and look great, so anyway, it's exciting to see how the rest of Spirit Week will go. So if you do not know what the days are, you can talk to a student council representative, and we've also put the days on the front TV that scrolls through all the announcements. So all of it's out there, up there, and you can talk to your student council reps also. So this is wonderful. You all look great. Today, we have a great speaker today. We have our very own Dr. Lagerteria. Let's give him a hand.
Good morning. Wait a minute. Is this a teacher's meeting? Oh my gosh, I thought I was in the wrong place. You guys look awesome today. Give yourself a hand. All right. So today I'm not using a PowerPoint. I'm just going to sort of speak from the heart and hopefully cover some area that might be of interest to you. How was your weekend? Sam, how was your weekend? What game did you watch?
I watched mostly Red Zone after the Jets started.
Yeah. Okay. How about Ty? Where's Ty? Oh, he's in another room? I've lost interest because my Kansas City Chiefs are not doing well. So, but the Bills seem to be doing well. So, how about our basketball players? How was your game over the weekend? Win? All right. Give the basketball players a big hand. Good. So, our school is really interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting place, right? Where are you going to find 2 7-foot-tall Senegali basketball players and a bunch of Vietnamese students and local Bridgeport kids and Chinese kids, and soon we'll have one girl from Rwanda, and of course we have Peru. Give the lady a big, oh, not lady, her name is Mrs. Lily. Right? I don't mean to miss any nation or any ethnicity, but the school is very, very unique. It really is a combination of some amazing characters and characteristics, right? But what's at the heart of it? What's going on? Okay? Wherever human beings go, what do? If you can answer, it's fine. I'm going to tell you the answer. But what do human beings do? Anybody? What, Sam? They connect, right? But in what kind of format do they connect? What's the relational format, if you could call it anything? Anybody have an idea, Mrs. Keiss? How do people connect? Sam, if you have, you can go ahead. Community. And what is a community? What is it like? Is there any model that we would talk about in terms of a community? Does it look like something? Thank you. She got it. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, it's a family. Wherever human beings go, no matter where they go, whether they go to a company, where they work in a business or something, whether they're in a school, whether they're on a job site, building a road or a bridge or something, it's always kind of like a family. Our brothers from Senegal, they're in a basketball league, and it's like a family there, right? Coach Ponce and Coach Greg, they're like, either your older brothers or your parents, and they're guiding you to do well in your sport, right? And it's the same in school. You have, like, if you look at Edison, if you look at, she's not in the room, but take a good look at her. She dressed up as me today, and she has wickedly gray hair and very flattering impression. But I'm like the grandpa, you know, in some ways, and Dr. Schwartz we're like co-grandpas of the school. And then you have Mrs. Keiss, who's like our mother, right, in many ways. And you have Nick, Mr. C, who's like the older brother. Why did you come late this morning? I'm going to give you a late pass. What are you doing? You know. And then you have all of the teachers who are very much like your aunts and uncles. So what I'm getting at is that human beings do family. That's what we do. Wherever we gather, like Sam said, it becomes a community. But it's not just any kind of community. Everywhere you look, at every turn, it's based on the family. It's an outgrowth or a fruit of that family model that you see manifested in myriad ways. You just see it everywhere, even in the government, even in the highest levels of government. The leadership of the government is like like the father and mother, so to speak, right? So what I'm getting at is that what kind of family do we have? Because there are many kinds of families, right? There's healthy, happy families, and there's difficult, challenging families, right? So, of course, what kind of family we want to be in? What kind, Adam? What kind? A happy one, right? We want to be in a happy family. So to be in a happy family, we have to participate. You have to participate, right? You have to be part of that family. So, for example, right now, all of you are still at home. Well, of course, the international students are staying in the dorm or in the basketball program. But we are part. Even though you're far away from your family, you're still somebody's son or daughter. You're still somebody's sister or brother. Those designations, we say, are existential. They don't change. You're always going to be somebody's son or daughter, somebody's brother or sister. And if you have a larger family, you will wind up eventually becoming an aunt or an uncle. I will always be my mother's son. My mother passed away, as I think you know, in May. And she was a tiny little old lady. And I'm a big, overweight guy. But I came from her. So, she's always going to be my mother. I'm always going to be in a humble position to my mother. And I'm going to be in a collegial position to my colleagues, the people I work with. So what I'm trying to underscore for you is that if you live in a healthy family and you think of each other, and the title of my talk today is How We Think About, let me just see what I wrote, How We Think About the World. If we think about the world as a large, extended family, and we look at one another as brothers and sisters, it's a very, very different way of looking at people than as some object that I can manipulate for some gain, right? If we look at each other as brothers and sisters, we tend to see more value. We see the qualities that person brings. Like, for example, in our school, we have some very serious academics, and I have to give you guys a hand. I'm not going to name names, but we have some serious academics getting 4.0 averages, scoring in 96th, 97th, 98th percentile of SATs. This is incredible, right? But, and I don't mean to use the word but, and we have very creative people among our students who can draw and who can sing and who can act and dance, right? And then we have very clever people who can code, right? Mr. Shin's got people coming in helping him. And let me say, I will give a big hand to Sam and the team for the newsletter. Oh my God. That newsletter, the buzz The buzz is killing me, and people are writing back. You don't see it because you just produce it, and then you have your classes that you have to go to and everything. But we're getting feedback from people who are looking at our newsletter like out of the woodwork, and they're saying, thank you so much for that newsletter. How did you do that? And we said, we didn't do it. The students did it. Give them a big hand. But getting back to my theme, so the point is, if we're in a family and we look at the world as family, as of course I'm not your father and you're not my child, but if I look at you as if you were my child, or you look at one another as if you were brothers and sisters, you may have a different perspective. You may be looking to help them. You may be looking to uplift some quality that you find in that person, rather than look at what's different or look at what you don't like, but try to find what's good and positive. And also, when it comes to how you treat each other, if you think of each other as brothers and sisters, you might not be so critical. You might not be so judgmental. You might be more, like we say, generous of heart, and really try to listen what's going on. Especially juniors and seniors. You guys are like the older brothers and sisters of the younger students. And we have an amazing class. They're not in the room today, but the ninth graders that came in this year. Hey, ninth graders, I know you can see me. The ninth graders that came in, they're really high achievers, and some of them they're right away on the honor roll. They've done incredibly well. But they're also just going from 7th to 9th, some from 8th to 9th, and it's not easy. Maybe you remember what it was like when you went from middle school to high school. There's a lot of new challenges there, right? So they need your help and support as an older brother and sister, to help kind of look in on them and make sure they're okay. But we don't do that if we don't think from the perspective of family. If we think just from the perspective of my own selfish self, what can I get, what benefit do I gain from the situation, then we're less likely to think about the other, right? But I can tell you from my own experience, the external surroundings, where you live, what clothes you wear, what car you drive, what version of iPhone you have, these things matter very, very little in relationship to your relationships with one another. If you have good relationships with one another, anything external is secondary. You can overcome it, you can deal with it, you can manage it. But if your relationships with people are strained, like, for whatever reason, there's some challenge there, we're not getting along, we said some hurtful things, whatever it is, when those human relations are strained, then every external thing becomes so miserable. It's like, oh my God, well, how can we ever overcome? But if the relations are good, then there's no challenge that we can't bear. And I want to tell you, I don't want to sound like an infomercial or something, but this school that you're in, this place called BIA, that's the kind of place you're in. You may have a challenge with your grade, but you're not going to find people here who are judging you and penalizing you. You're only going to find people that want to help you. You're only going to find people that want to, help you improve. And that doesn't just go for kids who are challenged, but it goes for those who are high flying, those of you getting 4.0s. You've got people in this environment who are, Dr. Swartz has 2 PhDs. Mr. Ahn is perfect score on the math SAT, and he's running the SAT club. You've got Hudson Swartz, who has really done incredibly well in his college career. You got Miss L. You got Mr. Kais. You've got people here who have expertise, Mr. Shin, Mrs. Kais, the whole team, Daniel Kingsley. They all have expertise in many areas, and they're only here to serve you. They're only here to help you. They're only here to help you find the best part of yourself to come out. But it happens in an environment where we function as a family. And remember, I started my talk this morning by saying, what do humans do? They do family. And so the question is, what kind of family? If you're in a family where you don't talk, where you don't share anything, that's no fun, right? When good things happen, you want to share them. And even when difficult things happen, you want to share them. Because when you verbalize things and when you work together with others, somehow the external problems become less and less. And you're going to find this. Right now you're young, you're teenagers, and you're in this brother and sister relationship. But eventually, when you get older, you may very well, find a life partner. And then, you get to walk your life course with another person for the rest of your life. And that is an enormous blessing and opportunity for depth. Right now, it's more like we're meeting all kinds of people, having all kinds of experiences. But at some point, the large percent of the population eventually finds their ultimate life partner and then builds their own family, right? And that's an opportunity to go deep. I have grandchildren. I adore them. I spent the weekend with them this weekend, and it was delightful. And that's what reminded me about the theme of family, and that's why I wanted to share that with you this morning and just encourage you to be brothers and sisters. You don't have to worry. When you're brothers and sisters, you can be free. You don't have to worry about all these other pressures. I know I watch TV. I know what you guys are seeing on TV, and I feel sorry that the society is bombarding you with all kinds of images and graphics and all this stuff. But hopefully, when you come in the school for the 8 hours or 6 hours that you're here, you can feel free, you can feel peaceful, you can feel loved, if I can say, because at the heart of it, I believe myself and my colleagues are trying to love you in the best way we can. As educators, we don't love you as our own children, but we really try to care for you with the protocol that we have. And what is that? Education, character development, keeping the school safe, giving you an opportunity to have a reasonable schedule and have some fun activities, right? Because this week is what? Spirit Week. Okay. Well, I really appreciate everyone. I can see you really paid attention to me this morning, and I'm very grateful for that. And I wish you a wonderful week. Enjoy the week, especially the Halloween party on Friday, and let's be good brothers and sisters and make a good family here at BIA. God bless you.
Have a seat. I still have some stuff. So let's give Dr. Lagerteri another round of applause. Okay, a couple of announcements. As Dr. Lagerteri has said, there is going to be a party on Friday. I believe it's 7 to 9, Student Council. Yes, right? Okay, so if you have any questions about that or are not sure about that, you can always approach a Student Council member, okay? I also want to put out there, we will be sending out a note to all the local parents, but Thanksgiving is coming up. It's about a month away, and we do encourage local students to invite a dorm student or two over for Thanksgiving so that they can experience, a family meal, the whole, Thanksgiving package, as it were. So anyway, talk to your parents and, see if they're open to the idea. If they are, you can let me know. Some dorm students are leaving. They're not staying in the dorm over that break, but we can, go back and forth. It'd be nice to invite students to your house so that they can experience a nice home-cooked meal and the Thanksgiving tradition here in America, okay? That being said, I don't think I have any other announcements, so have a wonderful day, and we'll see you around. Bye-bye.